What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 40 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Archaon the Everchosen Immortal Empires campaign. I know it's been a bit of a while since the last episode, and I do apologize for that. I had a busy work week, and so really only had time enough to devote to the higher engagement stuff. And unfortunately, the last episode of this campaign failed to reach the engagement threshold. Gulator judges us all. In fact, engagement kind of dropped off a cliff last episode, to the point that if this episode performs similarly, I am going to have to banish this campaign to the Shadow Channel, where it will continue, not to worry, but, you know, not entirely sure why that was, considering the views were roughly the same, but it is what it is. It happens to every campaign eventually. Gotta roll with the punches and all of that. A bit of good news on that basis, however, since this episode did take those extra couple days to get uploaded, I'll make it a long one as if it were multiple episodes instead, just to compensate. It's only fair. Anyway, as we saw last time, Glugmir Humongous faced off against Festus in a disgusting Nurgle on Nurgle contest. We did manage to pull it up, but just barely so, nearly losing the battle and showing that Festus is most definitely worthy to join our Warhost of the Apocalypse. We are also 3 turns away from the Orky arrival, though that's not going to be as concerning as the Empires of Undeath and Ulthuan, which will make up the real endgame. And we have arrived on every single continent. Lustria is under attack by Malefics from the south, and Kholek and Azazel from the north. We have arrived at the southern Chaos Wastes. Chant remains in the Crater of the Walking Dead to the east of the southern World's Edge Mountains, and will eventually probably cross to the Land of the Dead proper. And of course the Empire is beset from all sides. It's a good time for us and I guess nobody else. Well, this gave in to some degree. Anyway, let's get started with what we got to do this time around. Kuchar, you are going to find some lizards, and I believe you are also going to find some of these guys. Alright, looks like the Crucible of Delights is currently held by the Ghost of Pahwak, so I'll have to declare war on them, and then go all the way to Occam's Forever Maze, then back all the way up until we reach the Altar of Facades. These guys don't want to become our vassal after all. Though maybe if we trade them the Crucible of Delights, who knows? We'll find out in a couple turns. Anyway, Siggy, you can move as well. But I think what we'll do, I was going to, well, last episode, I was gonna say we have Siggy reinforce Demahar, but we've had kind of a theme throughout this campaign, and that theme was Khorne gets the bloodiest of battles, wherein we suffer. So we're going to send Demahar by himself, even though his army isn't complete, to take the Shrine of Cain. Plus, we gotta show Khorne's domination over Cain. Khorne gets the skulls and the blood, as well he should. Now, before we do that, let's pop the Banner of the Eternal Flame on maybe one of the War Shrines so that it buffs everybody near it up. And we have a Razor Standard, which I guess we'll probably want to give to the shielded units. Give them a little bit more in the way of armor piercing and a little bit more weapon strength, which the Bloodletters already have in droves. Although the regular Bloodletters, wait, just to make a comparison, 40 and 25 versus 50 and 15. Yeah, we need more armor piercing on these guys, so these guys will get it. Ooh. I also notice you lack an enchanted item, so let me just see here. We might not have one. Yeah, we have the 2 Crowns of Everlasting Glory. I guess we could temporarily give you one. Alright, fine, let's give you temporarily one. I've been saving these for new Demon Princes, mostly because they're really big targets and tend to get, you know, absolutely wrecked by range attacks, whereas Demahar is unlikely to be. So yes, we are going to make him a Demon Prince of Khorne eventually, so he will get one. But we've got like 4 Demon Princes on the way and not enough crowns to go around. Or a crown, I guess. So whoever levels up first will probably get them, or whoever is more vulnerable, I guess. Yeah, not enough items to go around, but oh well. Let's get to it. So let's see what we have here. A Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties. I like the sound of that, or at the very least, Khorne does. So away we go. Let's try those Bloodletters.
alive! Blood for the blood god! Skulls for the skull crow!
Alrighty, here we go. Finally time to see this army in action, and I couldn't be happier about it. All of those bloodletters with their burning swords getting ready to move into combat. The War Shrines of Khorne, our first time seeing them in this campaign as well. I still haven't decided whether we're going to do 6 or 8 units of bloodletters, because we could do 6 and put 2 more units of bloodthirsters in this army as well. Certainly bears some thinking. And speaking of bloodthirsters, we have Khorne's Bloody Fist in here, which is looking pretty damn great, and we'll see it in combat a decent amount of times, hopefully, in this battle. Anyway, the enemy does a really smart thing here, which I'm actually surprised about. While we were moving up this ramp, the enemy decided to send its eagles, its lord, and 2 units of eagles. 2 units of eagles, its lord, and a unit of white lions down here. Granted, this is sort of sacrificing all those units, but it blocks every single one of our units on this ramp, which is obviously quite a big problem, as the biggest threat from the enemy here is the fact that they have all of those range units, which will be focusing down our war shrines as well as our vulnerable bloodletters. We got to get rid of these enemies reasonably quick here. The Khorne's Bloody Fist is going to move in, start whacking away at those eagles with its big old great axe, as well as hopefully those white lines. We're going to try to get a few of our units over the side and hopefully add some of those range units to silence them. But for now, the enemy's doing a really great job blocking us on this ramp. This is very likely what a player would do as well. They're probably a little bit closer to the top of the ramp, but still, very nice job, AI. I'm always impressed when it does something that it really should, but generally speaking, wouldn't normally have the capability. Anyway, at this point, while I usually wouldn't summon our Chaos Spawns so close to our own blob of units, we really need those white lines gone. So, they're going to get gone via spawn. Fortunately, the enemy lord has been pretty much destroyed by the combination of Khorne's Bloody Fist and Demahar. And finally, those white lines will rout and we can start... Oh, damn, this arch keeps screwing the camera over. We can start moving into the enemy settlement and hopefully silencing those archers. This will only capture 2 so far. And we are getting hit from archers from all over the place. We got 3 archers here, we got archers here, we got 2 or 3 more archers over on this side, and 2 units of enemy Eagle Claw bolt throwers, though our units of cav have moved around the enemy city, our settlement, and have started to hit those Eagle Claws, so at least they won't be too threatening. On the bright side, our lord, well, he temporarily has this crown of everlasting glory, is not really threatened by anything here because it's such an obnoxiously good item. And gotta love a heavily armored Chaos Lord with permanent regeneration like that. Although I guess the Nurgle Lords can really luck into... I think actually I've seen Khorne Lords luck into it too, so perhaps anybody can. You can luck into a regeneration out of the Paths of Glory. I think we've only seen it once in this entire campaign, but I do remember in my Valkia campaign, a Demon Prince of Khorne got it, so presumably others can get it too. Alright, finally our bloodletters have streamed into the enemy settlement, and those white lines and all their armor piercing aren't going to be all that useful against us. Or armor sundering and armor piercing, I should say. Too bad we won't be able to get a one-on-one versus the Exalted Bloodletters and the White Lines, as that would be a pretty cool contest, but nonetheless, we've got some great action here. We do have to be careful about our War Shrines getting surrounded and destroyed, though. These things are pretty darn fragile, and they have a bad tendency not to stay within the line, but to sort of move out of it due to monster animations. And this obviously puts them in danger, as they're quite fragile. Or maybe not fragile, but vulnerable. Or at the very least likely to be targeted, let's say. Anyway, just gotta keep that War Shrine safe while we kill off everything else. The problem, of course, is that the war shrines want to be close to the fight, and in the melee as well. Anyway, fortunately, it looks like the spears and the white lines are breaking. More of our troops are streaming into the enemy settlement and just trying to get at every single enemy range unit they can to prevent them from firing. Looks like these are Gate Guard over here, and we have sent our Chaos Spawn and summoned some Forsaken just to prevent them from doing anything, while the rest of our units, our Marauders and our Coronate Warriors, give chase to other range units. Khorne's Bloody Fist is also flying around, dropping down on some enemy archers. We have a relatively limited number of units that can sort of separate themselves from our blob like this, so we damn well need to use Khorne's Bloody Fist in this manner, as it was going to be very difficult otherwise to get at these archers. And this is another reason why it may be valuable to get a couple more Bloodthirsters in this army. Would anybody say no to more Bloodthirsters? Somehow I don't think so. Anyway, looks like these High Elven archers are terrified, as well they should be, and are having a pretty bad day. And generally speaking, the bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor, and we just need to run down the last of the remaining enemy troops. This damn unit of Gate Guard has been focusing this poor Chaos War Shrine for the entire battle, and the War Shrine is now down to about 40% HP, so it's now time to finally take our revenge and mob those Gate Guard with our Bloodletters, though alas, only at the point that the Gate Guard have basically run out of ammunition. Decent job to the AI for positioning its various range units sort of around the settlement so we couldn't blob up on them and force them all to be unable to fire anymore. But alas, decent positioning and decent defending from the AI or not, it looks like the enemy is just about done, and Gate Guard move into melee, but that won't fly, and with that, the rest of the enemy army will shatter. Oh, that looks like one of our Marauder horses also took some damage, probably some shots from a pile of enemy range units, because that's where most of the damage on us came from. But at the end of the day, the Bloodletters do still carry it, with a little bit of help from Khorne's Bloody Fist, both literally and figuratively. Alright, not too bad. Certainly could have gone worse. We took damage to the Chaos War Shrines of Khorne, but they're pretty much always going to be extremely vulnerable. It's just the nature of fighting enemy ranged heavy armies, though they were probably better off targeting our various Bloodletters instead. But anyway, a nice little debut. Demahar joins his friend Kuhar on the Coronate field. Oh, I like how both of their names end with R there. It's all nice and on theme. Anyway, we are going to obviously sack the place, not raise it, so that hopefully Malekith occupies it, and we can trade these territories to him afterwards. Plus, I think he can still use the Shrine of the Widowmaker to some degree, so I'd rather not destroy it. You unfortunately can't go in and camp stance. And channeling, channeling will, I guess, be of some use to you, if nothing else. Not a crazy amount of use, but some use. Although, on the other hand, if we go into March stance, we can go all the way over here, and see what's going on out here, and on top of that have Siggy follow. Just gotta hope that nobody has Lightning Strike. We shall see. Siggy, follow along. And we'll send you two to separate places. More likely than not, Toranlik has to be Siggy, and then and we'll send Demahar out to the Shrine of Ruinous. And hopefully, if Malekith manages to take the Shrine of Cain, then we'll just immediately trade all of those. Anyway, looking good. Who is up next in terms of moving today? Village, you are still headed all the way over to Mount Gunbad, as we gotta prep for those orcs respawn. And Jaeger, you, my friend, are heading out to fight the undead over at Longhi. Let's see if we can't get you out of attrition, and it does look like we can. And you're out of range of Capitano Sissoko as well, which is, I guess, nice for you. Your heroes are all fine. We got more heroes coming in, but these are for the Coronate armies. Coronate heroes, such as they are. Valkia. I believe... Oh, Torsathai versus Eagle Gate. On the one hand, I did want to head towards Lothern as fast as possible with Valkia, but I think we have to take Eagle Gate just so that these guys don't attack out of it. So, let's do that. And it is tier 3. Will this be worth fighting, perhaps? Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties. There's nothing crazy here, but it will destroy one of our units, so it looks like we've no choice but to do it. Valkia has the Banner of Rage, which, you know, appropriate. We'll give the Razor Standard to you, I guess the Banner of Eternal Flame on you. And the War Banner doesn't really apply well to anybody, but it also kind of applies to Valkia, so it's fine. Oh, maybe we could give it to the Exalted Hero, the banner, I mean. Easier to reposition that way. And the leadership, at the very least, with the weapon strength will work well here. It's just that the reload time reduction does nothing for you, but there's not all that many units that would benefit from both anyway. Anyway, looks like we're fighting immediately. It's a corny kind of day, I guess. And away we go.
We cannot interfere with the path laid out by our master. Crush them underfoot.
Alrighty, here we go. Valkia comes over the walls and gets in on the action immediately, trying to go after the High Elven archers. Unfortunately, this battle is going to be much more difficult than originally anticipated. Now, I don't know whether this is a function of the gate or whether it was a bug, but we don't have Shatterstone available to us. I deployed this entire blob of units with the expectation that we'll immediately shatter this wall and be able to go through it, and then hopefully destroy everybody inside. Unfortunately, without Shatterstone, this means that we're going to have to go up the walls and do this the old-fashioned way. Now, generally speaking, I'm sure Khorne appreciates that, though a lot of our units are going to be shot up by enemy range while we do it in that manner. So that's a little bit, unfortunate, and something Khorne wouldn't probably enjoy as much, as these are cowardly range units, killing our units via range rather than glorious melee combat. Speaking of range, they do have an Eagle Claw Bolter deployed right out here, and we're going to send in our 2 Bloodthirsters directly at them, while Valkia tries to distract as many of the enemy range units as she can. Obviously, there's nothing on the field that's really a threat to Valkia herself, and in theory, if we really wanted to, we probably could have just sent Valkia by herself to clear the enemy settlement out, slowly but surely. But where would the fun in that be? Alright, and Valkia's trying to get through a little bit now, activated a little bit of that damage reflection, but she wants to get out and go for either those Great Eagles or for those Eagle Claw Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. But not to worry, Mr. Slaughter. Yeah, Slaughter is in here for now, and starting to take care of business. We're also going to have to watch out for the desync, but I'm hoping that we don't get, either that we don't get a big desync or that we don't get one at all. I decided to essentially not go for the gate, even though it would have made it a lot easier and would have enabled our knights and our juggernauts to get on in there. But if we ignore the gate and only go through the walls and maybe only go through the gate once it's captured from the inside, then maybe the desync can be avoided. I don't know. It's going to cost us a lot of casualties to find out, but I think this will be a decent time to experiment with it. Anyway, our Chaos Warriors and Chosen continue climbing over the walls and then immediately getting down and dirty with the enemy. Looks like the Silver Helms are first in, but against the Lethal Company, a unit of Chosen, they're going to have a pretty darn bad day. If they were Dragon Princes, perhaps that they could manage it, but not like this. Especially not with the help of more Chaos Warriors and more Chosen coming down off the walls, though, of course, with all of our units blobbed up on this side of the map, it's going to be a problem. What the heck? Oh, there is a desync here. Yeah, this never happened. These two never got anywhere near this hurt. Wow, this is a big desync. They should be all the way back here right now. But they moved over here and somehow, I guess, got targeted by a ton of range units, huh? Okay, well, this is going to be interesting to see how the desync deals with the rest of the battle. Oh, well, not a big deal. We're just going to get periodic desyncs with the, ooh, nice hit, though. A nice hit indeed. The enemy lord goes down, apparently even in this, but I'm pretty sure Valkia killed off the enemy lord in the actual battle that I fought. Damn, all that to avoid a desync that happened anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have done this, but oh well. Oh well, we can still get some great shots of Valkia and the Chosen and the Chaos Warriors fighting, and at the end of the day, most of the battle will still be same-ish as to what happened, in the sense that it'll be our infantry obliterating enemy infantry, though under fire from enemy range the entire time. Sad about Slaughter and Carnage's untimely deaths in this. Not real deaths, of course, but, well, desync deaths. But at least we get to see their death animations, which we otherwise wouldn't see. I mean, I guess we saw them that one time that we got a desync on that Tomb King siege battle against the Exiles of Nehek. But oh well. Anyway, time for the Chosen to do their work. I hope Valkia didn't... Nah, Valkia's fine. I was about to say, I hope Valkia didn't desync to the point of dying, but I honestly don't see how she would. The enemy would still have an incredibly difficult time hurting her and certainly killing her. Looks like she's knocking out several of the enemy's silver helms with every blow. And the Toxic Venom is probably helping out a little bit. I believe the Toxic Venom is from the Demon Shield, because it's not from a Corned unit. Ain't no way. Alright, well, Valkia can continue with that sort of fun while we continue having a nice old melee/brawl down here. Unfortunately, because of the massive desync, this will also mean that the battle will most likely end before the battle is actually over on screen, you know what I mean? In past desyncs, it just sort of says, oh, battle's over, even though the units are still fighting. But that's the nature of the desync game. Alright, sadly, sadly a bunch of units are blobbed up where they probably wouldn't be due to the desync. All of our oh, this is also going to be a big point in the desync. Yeah, so when I actually played it, some units, I don't remember which units, captured this gate and allowed everybody to move in. Probably one of these units. And now they didn't do this, which means all of these units are going to be stuck out here not doing anything. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be horrendous desync-wise, but oh well. Continue brawling. Call it a shot of an alternate timeline. Where something very, very different happened. And at the very least, the Chosen of Khorne and the Chaos Warriors are still, or at least the ones that were able to make it into the settlement, are still having a pretty grand time. Unfortunate about all of our Cav and our Trolls, and apparently our Exalted Hero. But oh well. Valkia is still in it, though. And she's lost a little bit of HP, but is recovering. How's that Phoenix looking? I think the Phoenix was dead by now, but it's at half HP. Alright, well, as long as Valkia continues to fight, that's just fine. Elves appear to be destroying some of their own buildings around here with shots from their towers. And it does look like the towers are targeting Valkia. And yeah, still that gate to last is not captured, so these guys are still stuck out here. Oh well. It also looks like our Chaos Warriors are beginning to rout in this blob, which also never happened. I'm very curious to see what'll happen in this desync. It's just as new to me as it is to you guys like this. And, oh, well, okay, like I said, it would end randomly, quickly like that. Avalorn got a Pyrrhic victory, but in reality, we got a, I think, Pyrrhic victory, or possibly some other kind of victory. And, yeah, sadly, we didn't get to see the rest of the brawl, and we didn't get to see the Knights and Juggernauts charge in, which they very much did after we captured the gate in the real battle. But at least we got to see the brawl, which was the big deal, because once the Knights were in, they just mowed through and down all the enemy range units, and at that point, the battle was pretty much ours. The biggest difficulty of the battle was this brawl out here, and, well, we saw most of that. Damn, we have a lot of souls, over 107,000. Not too bad at all. Anyway, a very nice Pyrrhic victory. For us, I don't know how it will have looked in the replay, but hopefully it looked decent enough. I, once again, tried my best to play in such a way that the desyncs would be minimized, i.e. not going for the gate and all that stuff at all. I hope that that worked out, but who knows. Unfortunately, playing that way did mean it increased our casualties, but who's gonna complain? Khorne? I don't think so. Anyway, who got the MVP this time around? One of these Chaos War, or these are Chosen, the Lethal Company in particular, at 126 kills, and then closely matching them an unnamed unit of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Unfortunately, Slaughter and Carnage got badly beat up, but considering the sheer amount of range units and all those towers firing at them at the same time, that's hardly surprising. Anyway, well done to Valkia's force. We're going to have to raise that gate, so... I don't remember what happens if we occupy a gate with Chaos. I imagine we can't actually hold them, but I suppose we could give it to whoever ends up on Ulthuan. Kind of curious about it. I imagine we can't hold it, but try. It's a tier 2, and it gives us a tiny garrison here. I wish we could at least build a special sort of bulwark here, but oh well, we could just build it up and trade it, and Valkia can at least heal a little more here. I don't think there's a strong enough stack nearby to defend it. And certainly if the other gates don't have stacks, they're going to have problems with it as well. And ooh, the fireball that we found can be combined with something else that was trash, I think. The Terrifying Mask of E. Not going to get any use out of that, and the Ruby Ring of Ruin combined to form another Bronze Armor of Jurak. These give us immune to contact effects. I've been, by and large, giving these to casters, as well as exalted heroes, obviously, rather than lords who get better armors. But anyway, next time I spot one that doesn't have an armor, we got a couple more to recruit anyway, so yeah. Malefac's Rune Smasher, ooh. Right, you have this tiny little skinky army. I would imagine you should be able to auto-resolve this thing. It's going to run, and oh, now don't you dare cross the you little... Alright, that's going to take most of our movement range, unfortunately, but I guess we can heal in our own territory, but still. So rude. We did get plenty of rewards out of it, though, so semi-rude. We can maybe kill captives, actually, rather than take the money, mostly because we have a lot of enemies nearby, and I'd like to fight on better footing. Anyway, let's go into our allied territory. Doesn't seem we heal any more in allied territory than we do in enemy territory. Another Tormentor Sword, good for a flying exalted hero or a flying mage, perhaps, depending on who's getting what. Anyway, Chant the Flyer. You, sir. You've got places to be. Far, far and away places, don't you? Just out of curiosity. Okay, no, there's nothing useful there. Alright, you're moving down here. We'll need you to fight the undead, most likely. And as soon as you've moved, there you go, good. Anerath Magath, you are fighting the Skaven for now. I also haven't given him armor, because I still haven't decided whether we're keeping him. And I said, well, okay, I've given him armor, but I haven't given him other items, because I haven't decided whether we're going to keep him. I can maybe give him like a Fencer's Blades, perhaps? Not the Forbidden Rod, because he doesn't have healing. He has the Armor of Fortune, not the Crown of Everlasting Glory. Do we have any spare Fencer's Blades? There's sort of anti-heroes which we could give him for anti-magic or magical damage, though he will have natural magic damage if we ever evolve him. I'll take the sort of anti-heroes for now. And I think we have nothing else that would apply to you. Sort of Strive, Scroll of Varamar. Do we have any free Trickster's Shards? We do not. Alright, I don't think anything else is gonna go. Alright, that's fine. An Arath, head to Iron Rock. I want to take this before our Skaven friends do, so that we get that iron in there. I believe there should be a Clan Verm stack in here, and by the looks of it, 2 Verm stacks here as well. Oh. There was no one there. Okay, colonize, sure. Colonize, repair, don't collect the income, and let's make some use of that iron. Alright, what's up next? Chant, the chant. Ah, yes. So you know what? I did ask you guys a bunch of suggestions for his name. And you are going to now be Norvegicus, something. Norvegicus the Censor Bearer. There we go. I like that. This is a combination of 2 suggestions. Apparently Norvegicus is the, I want to say species name or family name or whatever, for the brown rat, and censors are liked by both Nurgle and by the Skaven. It's more of a sort of relatively subtle rat-related name, so pretty good in my opinion. Anyway, we're gonna pop you right here into ambush since we can't reach these guys, and we're gonna use Valmir to try and pop you right there. I'm gonna use Valmir to try. Ooh, wait, if you're gonna be the one that gets attacked, maybe we pop you into summoning stance, depending on if the ambush succeeds or fails. Try to get both of these armies to attack Valmir. I guess we could move further into the enemy territory. I'm not entirely sure they can actually reach Valmir. Yeah, you know what, let's not risk it. Go further. And then you go right here. Yeah, you should definitely be able to reach him. Not so sure about you, but I guess we're about to find out. Alright, that looks good to me. Bellicor. You are going to land at Kuhan, but there are full stacks there, and I fear that you can't handle full stacks right now. Grab the Sea Corpse real quick. You're still waiting for reinforcing heroes and reinforcing units, and maybe try to land at Arnau with the carcass. What do we have here? Okay, obviously there's no need to fight that. Let's pop the war banner on. Let's see, 10% reload reduction. I'm going to say on the Tzeentch units, mostly because they have much more range than the Khornate units do with their cannons, so let's go with that. Scarecrow banner for one of the dragons, and Gleaming Pennant probably for the infantry line. Auto resolve. Alright, a nice little bit of money, but we're going to kill the captives, even though we are negative money right now. Actually, significantly so. We were plus 10k only a little while ago, but oh well. How safe is it to land here? Probably not super safe. We know that Karl Franz is a full stack here. Can he reach Arnau from there? I don't think so, or at least I hope he can't. Well, Bellicor, I guess you're immortal, so even if... yeah, just do it. Just do it, and we'll see if you survive. Wouldn't be the first time you've suffered. Alright, let's do that, and then you are going to start leveling. I guess Bellicor is going to be casting here, but Spirit Leech, if nothing else, is very valuable, so we should take that. Unfortunately, we can't get more gifted units while landed like this, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. I just need to take the territory over. Alright, what else have we got here? Kagan, Valmir, you're just a follower army, and that is it. Alright, so before we end the turn, we need to figure out what we need to swap out here. We could swap out Bloom of Decay, for example. And we did want another Chaos Shrine of Nurgle, War Shrine of Nurgle. We could also swap out Death's Bounty for... I actually don't remember what I wanted out of the Khornate stuff. I think... don't quote me on it, but I think we wanted some more Bloodletters, didn't we? Let me just... these are all exalted. Yeah, we need some regular Bloodletters. Alright, fine, fair enough. We just need the one, though, don't we? Because you have 1, 2... Oh, no, we need 3 of them. Alright, so yeah, we do need bloodletters. Alright, Death's Bounty. Unfortunately, if we get attacked, we won't get the bonus money out of it, which we need to be careful with right now, but it is what it is. And then Bloom of Decay. That's the thing that gives us growth, which is great. But there's a lot of Nurgle-y stuff that we need, and we need to keep it going. Too bad that the Nurgle... Nurgle has a lot of really useful gifts. And this campaign has been blessed by Nurgle, so gotta keep those up. Path to Glory available, ignored, unassigned skill points, commandment available in Eagle Gate. I'm gonna say, let's go with they've come to the wrong place. If they're going to attack the place, then they'll have to deal with slightly stronger units. End turn. Alright, Scarby, you're trying to fight Wurzag? No, you're moving around. I'm actually going to need you to intercept Wurzag. I don't just let him run around and retake his former territories, dude. You're probably going to have to send somebody to deal with Wurzag. Well, to be fair, it was always going to be the case as he's going to get a bunch more armies in 2 turns now. And this was your army that was here, was just a pile of garbage skeletons? Okay, this is not worth our time. Let's sacrifice the captives. The reason that they would have lost is the Fires of Chaos. Wait. I think it had Fires of Chaos. If it did, we currently have 7 uses of it, so yeah. Also, wait, ooh, another Scroll of Leeching. We can turn that into something useful, hopefully. What I would like to see is why wasn't the siege ability working for that one gate battle? Should have been, but it wasn't. No peace treaty, Festus, no peace treaty. You've earned more war. You should consider that to be your reward. Alright, so ally occupies settlement. Oh, well done, Nagaron. You actually managed to occupy the Shrine of Cain. I am very proud of you, sir. Alright, Court of Libaros, Great Incantation of Xar, Scroll of Leeching, useless item. We're going to take you, and then we're going to fuse you into another Giant Blade. Ah, I was hoping for something better. Oh well. Chaos Steed for Hudakai. Another Razor Standard, and Ambush Foiled for Norvegicust. Settlement Seed. It probably doesn't matter. Ally begins outpost construction, good for Skeggy. Tamar Painbringers are ready to go. More gifted units, and Blood for the Blood God. Well, we've had plenty of blood this episode, and UN Bow will probably fall, so we'll probably have plenty more. One more research. Gonna have to go with Gore-Stained Robes. Mostly because Coronate Corruption, or generally speaking, other corruption types aren't super useful. Huh. Interesting that Nurgle Corruption is +1 for each active gift, and Coronate Corruption is +2 for each active gift. Why is that, I wonder? +2 and +1. Huh. So, Tzeentch and Nurgle get less corruption. Curious. Curious indeed. Alright, Norvegicust, I fear that you won't be able to reach this army, and even if you do, they'll probably run, but we're about to find out. Now, ooh, we're actually positive now, go figure. I wanted to check something, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was. Let me just see here. We were going to... Ah, yes, this is what I wanted to do. Blessings of Blood needs to become Death's Bounty again, and we need Contagious Worship back into Bloom of Decay before we fight the battles. Winged Watchers was giving us another one of these Lords of Change, and I want another Mystical Mutations. Let's get another Mutalith Vortex Beast on the field. Oh. How many Soul Grinders of Tzeentch do we have? We needed another one in this army, but I don't remember. Who has access to the actual recruitment thing? Somebody? Anybody? You're in allied territory, right? Yes. Gifted units. Do we have Soul Grinders of Tzeentch? That's Soul Grinders of Slaanesh. Not the right grinders. Soul Grinders of Khorne. You're a Slaanesh. No, you're Tzeentch, yes. And we have 0 out of 2. Alright, so we'll get one. Tzeentchify it, please. Thank you. Not like the souls are of any import. Alright. Now, let's get moving, and let's, I guess, move everybody in order. You're maxed out in terms of mana, or at the very least nearly so just proceed to Khazid Irkala's and get ready to go. Azazel, are you gonna get Yuanbo, or are you... Is he at war with these guys? He is. Oh. I guess what we could do is we could sack Machu Peaks. Alright, let's see if we can do this correctly. Auto-resolve this, and... Was that Mazdamundi? Oh, it was, I didn't even realize. Well, we didn't even remember there was anything. Sack this. And... hit you and bow. I fear he will run, but we'll see how far enough in a couple of seconds. More Mazdamundi defeat trait, always nice to have. And Yuendo, you will run here where Kholek will be able to reach you and Azazel won't. So Azazel, you're gonna take Machu Peaks. Yeah, occupy it. Very nice, very nice. Isthmus of Illustria secure, though we'll be looking to trade Hexoatl back to back to the Cult of Pleasure. Mostly because I don't think Skeggy is going to do too much with it, or at least not too much useful out of it. Even though Cult of Pleasure has a fairly solid-sized territory at this point. Gonna have to give it some thought, but anyway. Alright, let's keep moving for now. Actually, you know what? Let's take a minute and name a few things, shall we? It's been a while. Especially with the short break. Alright, so one of you... I don't know how many of these guys we're going to keep in Festus's army, but it'll certainly be some. Chirurgeons, Charming, Fellows. This won't fit, will it? Yeah. Chirurgeons, Charming... even Fellows won't fit. Charm Fellas? That's as best. That's as good as I can do. Or I guess we could name them the Chirurgeons Charming. Yeah. The Chirurgeons Charming. Remember the name, the character limit, folks. Alright, Grandfather's Finest for the Rattling Guns. That's Chant. We only have them in one place after all. Rattling Guns. Alright, I'm gonna do a bunch of names since it's been a while, let's face it. Alright, and I'm just gonna bounce back and forth between some Nurgle armies right now so we can name a decent amount of the Nurgle ones. Great Unclean One can be Slimer. Let's see, where is Kholek? Down here. Chaos Warshrine of Nurgle is also a Nurgle unit. Altar of the Correct Rock. I probably should have organized this by army rather than by god, but... well, what can you do? And there's another war shrine that needs a name, but who has a war shrine? Did I ever name your war shrine? There, Chant? I did not. Alright, fantastic. You can be the Unclean Zealot. Great name. I like that very much. Alright. Khorne. Khorne. Where are we here? Since we know... okay, wait, wrong Khorne army. Well, I guess it's not technically a Khorne army, but Malefac's Rune Smasher. We have 2 more Skull Cannons. At the very start of the campaign, you guys gave me like 1 billion Skull Cannon names, and we've only had 2 in the campaign so far. But for now, fantastic name. Blood for the Engine. Engine. And Skull Recyclers. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, Slaanesh, specifically Azazel. We have the Marquis of Masochism, we have the Sultan of Sadism, and lastly we shall have the Duchess of Debauchery. Ah, that fit. Very nice. And very nice indeed. And we're good here. I believe we were also going to get some Slaaneshi Knights here. You guys have lances? Yes, you do. I never named you, did I? No. The rigid rods. Hopefully we'll keep... well, I guess I'll just keep them in lance form specifically for this purpose. Also, you're rank 6, so shouldn't you be a knight now? You should, but we can only do that after we move you, so give me a minute on that one. Alright, I also have a name specifically for the hidden unit in the flying army, the Peeping Toms. Very appropriate, as it's the only Slaaneshi unit here, and it's only here to watch the action and not do other stuff. Like, you know, actually move. And there was a suggestion for, maybe a hero of Tzeentch. Somebody who's alone. Alright, you're a hero of Tzeentch. How about the Tallyman? Don't know why it was so hard to delete that. Alrighty, next up we have... where's our Mutilith friends? Though we do have more Mutiliths incoming. You, sir, shall be spawn of... Yeah, I hope I spelled that correctly. Hybrid children watch the sea, pray for father roaming free, etc. Did I spell it correctly? I believe so. Cthulhu should be happy. Please don't hurt me. Anyway, okay, are we good enough for now? And we're good enough for now. There's probably a few more things I'd like to do. Oh, actually, you know what? One more, because I like the idea. Let's see. Kuchar, you're a sorcerer. Nexus the Uncoordinated. Oh, we already have a sorcerer here. Well, we do have another sorcerer coming in here for the other Khorne army. Rulek. Rulek the Skull Polisher. Oh, for the love of... Rulek the Skull Polisher. Alright, alright. Probably good enough for now. Probably gonna do some more names next episode. Anyway, let's keep on going, shall we? Gillator. Are you able to reach the Brass Keep? Not like this, but Kagan is. Oh, but Kagan doesn't have... he doesn't have siege attacker, does he? Oh well, he'll just have to engage it and then we'll have to... Wait. You can reach this now? I could have sworn he couldn't reach it, but now he can? Okay, maybe I just... whatever, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, and I don't believe we need to fight this because there's basically nothing there. Pyrrhic victory apparently, but not so Pyrrhic that we'll get so badly hurt. We'll want to pop the Blasted Standard specifically on Gillator, and we'll want to pop the Lichbone Pennant probably on one of the Forsaken, because we do need a little bit of extra magic damage. Or we could pop it on the Failed Experiments or one of these guys since they dish out damage. Or something like that. Alright, I just want to, before we do this, I just want to double check that these guys haven't secretly taken over another territory, and they have not, so that the good doctor finally will join us. And enforce Confederation. Oh, thank you. Middle Mountains, blah 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 blah, Confederation, I take it it's automatically always 5 turns? Yes indeed, it is. But oh well. Battle healing cap plus 25% for Lord's Army. Well, we're going to make plenty good use of that power. And we immediately have a Fighter's Lodge here, which is great since we do need more... Wait, actually, do we need more? You have an Exalted here. Oh, you don't have an Exalted here of Nurgle. I don't know why I said it like that, Nurgle. But we should build you one, but I guess we don't have to build it here. We could probably keep this. And the Hall of Axes for 1 turn, and the Skull Hall for 1 turn. Sounds kind of corny to me, but sure. Yeah, let's keep this here for now. There's a decent likelihood that we'll delete it later. Also, you can no longer move, but you can encamp and heal up a teensy bit more, and or Kagan rather, stay near him so that you can keep on doing stuff. Kholek. Is it worth it for you to fight Yanbo? Frankly, his army is made up of trash, but... I would like to see how the two fare against each other. Alright, here's what we'll do. Blasted Standard on the War Shrine to buff everybody up. We'll manually fight this real quick. I just want to see Kholek versus Yuanbo. The rest of his army can by and large be ignored. Hopefully he doesn't decide to go for something else. I guess we could send Kholek in by himself, but, well, then everybody will interfere with the duel. Which ain't the best thing. Alrighty, and you will here start deployment. Kholek back here. We'll maybe send Kholek out ahead for a little bit. We'll see if he can engage in combat, and then we'll send everybody else around. Like so, I don't know, like so, doesn't really matter. You guys can be back here. Here. Alright, group 1, group 2, group 3, and group up, and group 4. It's 5, 4, go. Kholek, go. You guys move together, speed it up to max, and... Don't you run, Yuanbo. Well, he's getting into the trees, which actually is probably the smart move here. Can't see him. Alright, go, Kholek, engage your Tempest Rage for the mass and your charge. Alright. And I assume that's not Yuanbo flying, that's somebody else. Yeah, there he is. Looks like he does have the mass to resist this. I wonder, do the Dragon Lords maintain their mass when they're in human form? Kinda curious. No, 1251, but he does seem to have stagger resistance. Alright, time for you to transform, sir. You're not going to win like this. Alright, he does have plenty of his HP, though. Alright, how about the rest of you guys? Yeah, you guys can kill the Jade Lancers. You guys charge on in. You guys charge on in. We'll have to destroy stuff at the edges of the battlefield. Alright, keep on fighting. And you really should send your men out of there, because Kholek is going to kill so many of you just trying to hit you. He's a big boy, after all. And those poor peasants. Oh my lord. And, okay, you're down to half HP. I wonder when the AI is programmed to actually transform into the Dragon Lords. I don't remember how long the other Dragon Lords took to do it. And how are the Manticores doing? Pretty good by the looks of it. Everything else looks fine to me. And he's still fighting. Now let's drop some lightning on these poor peasants, because they haven't had a bad enough day. Honestly, they're not blobbed up enough for me. Where? Hey, what? What the heck did... Oh, you little coward, get back here. He's fighting one of the other... Oh, you. How dare you run from Kholek? Who else is going to fight Kholek here? What do you think is going to happen with the rest of your army? We'll just leave the rest of the army to fight Kholek and get completely destroyed? Shocked that he hasn't transformed. Oh wow, these guys have trapped one of our Chaos War Shrines. Haven't really been paying attention to it, mind you. Buff yourself up and drop a few spells on you. Haven't really been dropping spells, but it's not like we need to take this particular battle seriously. Is he actually right? I think he's terrified. He should come back in a second. Alright, Dragon Ogres, take care of this. Yuan, I gave you a chance. Why didn't you transform? Why? Took half damage on this War Shrine Sorcerer just for you to get the chance to fight, and alas, it looks like you will not get the chance to fight. You're just done. I wonder what the explanation for that is. He's just going to rout. And most likely the rest of his army is as well. Kholek, would you hit him? What are you doing? Why are you running him around? Why are you running around like that? Kholek's behaving oddly today. And he dies. Alright, there we go. And the jet line is unbreakable, I believe, so it'll have to die, but it'll die extremely quickly. There it goes, and it'll... Aw, they're so adorable when they freeze over like that. Just like, no. Alright, anyway, end battle. He already ran from Azazel, so we don't have to chase anybody down. Sorry, War Shrine, I was watching Kholek's duel, if it can be called that. Oh, and it looks like this army is blessed by Slaanesh. Go figure. I guess deleting one of the units of armored trolls was the right move after all. Alright, come on now. Don't you crash on me. I think Yuanbo just gave up on life. Maybe Kholek told him that he'd already destroyed Cathay itself, and Yuanbo had nothing to come back to. Alright, and hey, a potion of healing. That'll work instead of one of the crowns of everlasting glory for one of our new demon princes. Lovely indeed. Kholek, do you need to heal? Not really, you just go into March Dance and then move to either the Monument of the Moon or Pahwaks. I guess Monument of the Moon first. I mean, I was thinking about forcing a few lords to kill off Mazdamundi again just to get that defeat rate of his because it's faction-wide, but I'm frankly too lazy to do it. Too much time investment for something we don't really need to do. Anyway, okay, good. You can, in fact, reach the Crucible of Delights. You are at war with the Rapturous Excess. Will join the war against you. Mostly because I don't want these guys sailing anywhere else. And join war against the Ghost of Pahwaks. Oh, so close to becoming their vassal, too. Or them becoming our vassal, but we still need to take their territory. So alas, we can't do it this way. Give us your money, though. Like so. And I would imagine that their main stack is probably not here. I mean, they have taken stuff here, but on the other hand... At least I doubt it. And this is probably not worth considering. Banner of Rage obviously goes on Kuchar himself. We have magical damage on all of these guys, so we can pop the Lichbone Pennant on one of the Chosen. And the Razor Standard can... probably gonna go on the Blood Angels. There we go. I'll resolve this real quick. No damage. Oh wow, auto-resolve. Not screwing us for once. What is this? We're just gonna occupy because I don't know if Kuchar can still move, so let's not risk it. Another Fear of Aramar, though I think we have too many of those as it is. Mostly because if it's a choice between Fear of Aramar and, say, a Forbidden Rod, always pick the Forbidden Rod, Slaanesh Giggle, but Forbidden Rod or possibly a Trickster's Shard, I would obviously pick either of those two over the Fear of Aramar. And possibly even something like Skull of Catan, so... yeah, anyway, Demahar. You're gonna grab the Shrine of Kurnus. You still need the heroes as well, but yeah, grab the Shrine of Kurnus. I don't think there's anything there that should concern you. Still a close victory. Ugh. I feel like it's a waste of time to fight this, but could there be an enemy full stack nearby? Well, if there is, it's going to be your problem, bud. Not a resolve. Kill them all, sack it, and then occupy it. And we got ourselves a Biting Blade. I think that's the second one we have, in fact, which is good because we can hopefully transform it into something less trash. Biting Blade, Fuse. Another Sword of Change. I've been giving these to Tzeentch units because, well, you know, it's Swords of Change. And I'll probably continue to do so. You, Siggy, are going to take Toran-like real quick. And then I guess on to Phoenix Gate. And this is a decisive victory, so it's going to... okay, wait. Is it, though? I was about to say it's going to kill off the Serpent's Bite here, but is it? Is it really? Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. Much better. And we can put the Lichbone Pennant on, I guess, one of the Chosen of Slaanesh. I feel like we have a few too many Chaos Warriors or Chosen. We put something else in here, but something that can actually keep pace with the army. We don't really need Fiends because we have Soporific Musk. I don't know. I'll think about it. Either way, I'll resolve that real quick and sack it, though the XP extra isn't really needed here. Another Banner of Eternal Flame, nice. We have one in like 8 armies now. This campaign has been shockingly decent about picking those up, so I've been generally happy about it. Alright, you two are looking good. You, sir, get yourself a couple more Bloodletters. And like this, and we'll only need one more to max you out, won't we? Well, not completely max you out, because we are still missing your heroes. Kholek, the Skull Polisher, is the first. Sadly, we don't have a port to land in here, but that's fine. Ah, look at that. Our Norscan allies actually doing a thing. Unless they sack it. They might not actually take it. Who knows? A Jaeger. I would like you to travel in normal stance right here near Talongi, where you will hopefully land and burninate just piles and piles of undead. I really wanted to summon a few more things with you, but it looks like we won't be able to. Oh, I also had another idea. You. It's an idea. It's a little bit of a waste. But, wait, let me just double check here. You can't become a Tzeentch Knight. Can you become a Tzeentch Knight? No, not for a while either. And in fact, you can't reach the Mines of the Bearded Skull either. Okay, fine. Just go raiding for a turn? We really should move to Dusky. Ooh, maybe this guy will attack us. You know what? Go into ambush stance here. I've been trying to ambush things for a while, but hey, if it works, it works. Hopefully. Alright, what I wanted to check was whether we could give somebody a Tzeentch unit of any kind that's of the Chaos Warrior level, and... would one of you please take this? What is this? We're gonna have to do it for them, aren't we? They're just not gonna do it. And... huh. Look at you. You're doing stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to move you back a Narath, but then these guys might move out and take Iron Rock. Well, if they do, they do. Clearly the rats are just... yeah, they're not even targeting this anymore. Just take it, just take it. Alright, how to resolve that? And occupy it, which... wait. Free XP. Sacrifice captives, and then occupy it. Hey, another Armor of Fortune. Very nice. And Seasoned Campaigner. Very nice as well. And then this will destroy Karazakarak. Or it won't destroy Karazakarak. Okay, I lied. Thanks, game. Making me a liar. I don't see another settlement belonging to them. Oh, yes I do. There's two up here. They're going to retake Karakangazar. We're going to need to send you over there before they do then, sir. And these guys may very well jump down here as well and kill off the ogre as well. If the ogre's fate is to die, then their fate is to die. Let's see if they can accomplish anything. Anyway, what I wanted to do is get AEKOLD HELBRASS. So we're going to do this. We're going to take you, and we're going to make you Tzeentch. Upgrade. And then move you. We were at 7 out of 8. Does that not count? That better count. Please, end your moving. Huh, it didn't count. Weird. No, okay, I guess we just need to end the turn. We are at 8 out of 8, it just doesn't count as completed. Alright, that's fine. At least it did work. So I'm still happy. We got any knights in here yet? We have no knights in here yet. Well, a shame. Village, you've got places to be as well. You are near to Mount Gunbed. Just go all the way over there. Looking good. Valkia. You are still hurt. There's another little army at Whitefire Tor, so we could go through it. We could go all the way to Tor Sathai. We could hit Toranrock. A decent amount of options. Probably should destroy this army just so that they can't attack us, and we go back through Griffin Gate or Toranrock, but Ulthuan is most definitely in trouble. And by the looks of it, I am excited to see when Tyrion's army will arrive. I think we can auto-resolve this garbage, even though it'll hurt. Yeah, just do it. A little bit of damage, but, well. Sack it for the XP. And then I guess we'll occupy it. Occupy, and with that... there it is. The occupation of it allows us to finally unlock Mr. AEKOLD. A Tale of the True... Oh, hello. An actual quest. I didn't know that we would have to do a quest here. Well, Archie... Oh, you're stuck in your stance right now, ain't you? You are not stuck in your stance. Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, it looks like we have a proper battle to finish off this episode, and, well, I did promise a long episode, and a long episode it shall be. Having reached the ancient monolith deep within the wastes, the great knight stands on the cusp of learning the truth and completing the path seemingly laid before him, but for one final insurmountable trial. In one-to-one combat, the warrior is more than a match for the monolith's Doombull Guardian, but the sheer numbers in the beast's war herd makes the knight survival nigh on impossible. Tzeentch's plans may be unknowable, yet your gaze has been drawn to this champion deliberately. It is time to play your part. Ungors, really? AEKOLD HELBRASS can't count? Okay, well, he probably wouldn't be able to handle 4 giants and a Doombull and a Gorgon and a Cygor and the reinforcements. But the Gors and Ungors, certainly. Yeah, alright, here we go. Teleport. I wasn't expecting this, but pleasantly surprised. Alright, and we've got... Oh my. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of Minotaurs and Bulgors and a second Doombull. But there he is. Finally, it's taken a long time to get here. Let's see this quest, shall we? AEKOLD HELBRASS, the once great knight of the Brethren of the Golden Eagle, is on a path to chaos, though whether it is his choice to follow this path or Tzeentch has set him upon it is known only to the Master of Fate himself. One final step remains to complete his journey. Monstrous odds stacked against him that must be overcome. Your warriors of Tzeentch rally around this unlikely hero, but it will be surely the strength of your host that will sway blah 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 Doombull. Alright, here we go, and there's that monolith that presumably was being talked about. I don't see any etchings of the... I don't see any etchings of AEKOLD on it. At least not that I can spot, but it may be on some on some particular location of it. Anyway, here we go. We are going to move into this portion of the battlefield with Archaon and all of our cav, while the rest of our army moves in to fight this blob. There are 2 blobs here, and we have a quest mission or goal or whatever, and it's to make sure that AEKOLD HELBRASS survives. Whether the enemy can actually kill him remains to be seen, but we are going to send Archaon in to help him out. Over here is going to be the portion of the battle that we will be dealing with. I'm quite excited to see an enemy Gorgon face off against the Giant, which we will probably do so shortly, after the Giants have a nice light snack of some Ungors and Gors. And then they can turn upon the Gorgon. Over in the background, there was an enemy Cygor firing rocks at us, or chucking rocks at us, or whatever you want to say. But we're going to drop down our Chaos Dragon to deal with it. I do believe the Chaos Dragon should be just fine in this contest, massively outstatting the Cygor, especially in terms of melee attack. And the Cygor will thus no longer be able to kill off any of our Chaos Warriors. And hey, how'd you manage that one? Looked like you wanted to hit the Chronicler there. And ooh, while watching the Cygor face off against the Dragon, we missed a little bit of the action between the Giant and the Gorgon, which is a pretty cool contest as well. Although our Giant looks like he's got the Gorgon on the back foot here. Even though the Gorgon should be, with its anti-large, pretty darn adept at killing these guys off, they do have a massive amount of HP, and we got a lot of buffs on that Giant. And it looks like the Gorgon will shatter. In fact, the first army will shatter. Let's check back on how Archie is doing with the rest of his forces, as it looks like it's going to be a very quick fight here. Our Chaos Knights have moved in and are protecting the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch from the onslaught of enemy Doom Bulls and Gore Bulls and Bulgors and whatever. While I do believe Archaon has found the enemy Lord and is going after him somewhere in here, if he hasn't killed him already. In fact, I think he has. And I just got to get a few more of the enemies to red, but it looks like the most interesting part of this battle was probably the contest between the Giant units, or contests between the Giant units, as the enemy infantry, monstrous and regular alike, are getting absolutely ripped apart by our Chaos Knights. And we do send our second army in to reinforce, but alas, it doesn't look like it will get here in time. Nice little obelisk. And there we go. With that, the decisive victory is ours, and AEKOLD HELBRASS will join Team Chaos. Alright, there we go. Maybe I should have invested a little bit earlier in wherever we could have found some Chaos Warriors and just Tzeentchified them early on in the game. Frankly, I kind of forgot about the option, but oh well. At least we have AEKOLD now, and he'll hopefully be able to reach Villach's army in time, though he does have a bit of ways to travel. I guess it depends on whether he has movement range available to him immediately. Either way, let's sacrifice those captives, because Archaon hardly needs anything else. And unlock hero AEKOLD HELBRASS, unlock hero AEKOLD HELBRASS. Alright, so both of them unlock him. We could get charge, reflection, and immunity to psychology for all characters, or we could get... It's all characters, it's not all units, yeah. Versus, we have unit experience for tons of Tzeentchian units, and just basically buffs for tons of Tzeentchian units. I'm gonna say talent. I think that's better than the charge, reflection, immunity, psychology only for characters. If it was for units, then yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a read as well. AEKOLD HELBRASS approaches the Great Monolith, taking in all the power of its runes and incantations. However, he also spots something else. A carving of a Templar with a rampant griffin upon his shield, an ancient image of a young AEKOLD himself, etched thousands of years prior. With confused anguish, AEKOLD travels further north into the wastes until he encounters a portal atop a long flight of steps. As he reaches the top, he sees the image of himself once more, yet but this time, it steps out to destroy him. Both men strike, the young Templar's sword slicing through AEKOLD's armor and into his ribs. AEKOLD's sword, however, takes the Templar's head from its shoulders, quashing the final vestiges of humanity within AEKOLD's own soul. AEKOLD's talent. AEKOLD joins you and brings with him the monuments, arcane knowledge of martial skill. Go for it. Alrighty, and Orcathal gets a student. Not that the students are super necessary anymore, and he can move. Good. Still gonna be a little bit of a while before he can get to Mount Gunbad and join Village, however. But he's well on the way. Alrighty, and he immediately starts with his Windblade and the Breath of Life ability. Self and ally heal per second. Lovely. Certainly something we need for those vortex beasts. Storm of Renewal is a regeneration ability that we have one use of. Passive ability Wreathed in Thorns for Chaos Knight and Doom Knight units, though. Sadly, this is not something we'd be able to get too much value out of in Village's army, because he has none of those. I mean, I suppose if we really wanted to, we could alter the army slightly to give him Doom Knights, but I suppose at the same time it's not crazy necessary. Frenzy when fighting against Empire irrelevant. What else do we have here? Battle Healing Cap, Speed. Ooh, Speed. Yes, please. And Vigor Loss Reduction. Yeah, this is all pretty great. He's got some really strong buffs, and he has Retinue Physician as well. Nice. Nice indeed. Anyway, you're gonna head to Village, and funnily enough, Village does not have an exalted hero, so it's nice that he will have a legendary one. Anyway, now let's keep on moving, shall we? Whoever needs to move, ye be moving. Chant. Yeah, you've still got a long ways to travel to the Empire of Undeath, but, well, you're getting there. Go, go, go. Samoth Painbringer. Enter this place. All the way to the Eagle Areas, we got 2 turns. Looks like you'll reach it just in time. And gladly, the brutal business will actually end before the, get you some halberds, before the orcs arrive on the field. You are also recruiting 2 Fireglaves for Samoth, since the trains unfortunately seem pretty darn unlikely, let's say. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, Norvegicust. You stopped healing. You were healing before, but you're not healing now, though. I suppose with you damaged, this army might be willing to fight you. Possibility certainly exists. So you have 6% movement range remaining, you have... I can't tell. How did I do that? Oh, it's like this. You have 9%, alright, so it's gonna have to be you anyway. Alright, go after him, let's see if he runs or if he fights, and oh, there's another full stack here. Full stacks everywhere. I fear that we won't be able to reach you. No. Oh well. Pop you into raiding stance, at least this way we can heal and put Valmir nearby. Decent likelihood that this guy goes after Resetra, but frankly we don't care about Resetra, so that's all fine. And we'll loop around to grab Doomglade right after. Okie dokie, who's up next? Glugmir. Well, it's gonna be 5 turns before you're replaced. We can keep you here just so that Gunter the Mystic stays there. I want the Fire Army to deal with him, rather than this army. We could take Gisoro, but the problem here is, well, you know, yeah, we could at least sack it and move back into Castle Artois. Let's do that. Oh, sack. And you know what? Do we actually care about a Castle Artois? I'm just wondering whether it might be better to move all the way over here and grab Blackstone Post with the metal therein. And we can return to Gisoro afterwards. I think I like that more. Even if this guy takes Castle Artois, that'll be fine. It'll actually enable Jaeger to land at Longwy and recruit what he needs to recruit. So that's just fine as well. Alrighty, let's go for building you up, and then let's continue with whatever it is that we still need to do this turn. Belly. I really would like to see what's going on over here. Tech Thief. Move to Ale. Wait, how many turns? You have 8 turns. You know what? Just move like this. We need to see where the Imperial armies are, as Bellicor obviously can't really handle them right now. So Karl is still hanging around at Marienburg, and that's it. Well, that's just fantastic. Alright, Bellicor, that means you get a free strike on our now. I don't imagine that there's anything there that will... Actually... You've got Boris Todbringer, and you've got a decent-sized force. You know what? Might actually be worth a fight. And when I say might, I mean yes. Go for it. Gotta see him in action after all.
You face the burst. Morcar could not defeat me. What chance have you?
I don't know, somebody might make you crown somebody, just saying, but anyway. Here we go, we'll start off with Bellicor versus Boris. Toddbringer up in the air, though Todd is gonna have a pretty bad day with the Dark Master reducing his melee attack by 40. And probably being just fine. Looks like the dragons are coming around, and Boris, don't do that. Alright, this wasn't on purpose. The dragons were going for the tower, and Boris, for some reason, decided to attack the dragons as they were going by, rather than Bellicor. Maybe he thought he had a chance against the dragons instead, but he doesn't have a chance against the Dark Master. Looks like he's down to about 10% of his HP. We're gonna pop Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, and between Maim and that, he's down to a mere 10% speed, and will fall into the roof of one of his buildings. In the meantime, our units of Soul Grinders have moved in. First time we get to see these Soul Grinders of Khorne. I guess I did say it was going to be kind of a corny episode, but we do have the Soul Grinders of Tzeentch here doing things as well. Gonna drop some Piercing Bolts of Burning on an enemy platform, which brings the platform down and damages the handgunners upon it, hopefully preventing them from doing too much damage to those Soul Grinders. Alright, and it looks like the enemies do be running from at least the Coronate Soul Grinder, while Bellicor heads towards the enemy mortar. And it looks like with the two towers having been destroyed by the two dragons, Bellicor can continue on his way as well. A nice penumbral pendulum going through this blob of enemies will prevent them from being too effective while Bellicor is away dealing with... Oh, it looks like there's a hero here. Well, he's killed Boris, he might as well kill off this Empire captain as well. And before heading to the mortars, looks like he'll get hit a couple of times at least with some of these crossbows. And with the Chaos Dragons are moving on and gonna breathe that Chaos Breath upon a few units just to stop, and then come down upon them. There we go. You probably both don't need to be attacking the same thing, but I guess just a few hits into this poor crossbow unit will probably make them rout. Looks like the enemy Empire captain has been killed off, and Bellicor can now head directly towards the enemy mortars. And the battle will soon be ours. Just stay quick, little one, that we had to get Bellicor into the fight already. Yeah, he doesn't have anywhere near his complete army. It's gonna take a while, especially if we want to try to recruit Exalted Plague Bearers of Nurgle. We really need a lot more legions to be able to do so. But hopefully it'll eventually be possible, and in the meantime we can have some other units take their place. I really want to take advantage of that plus 20 melee defense that Bellicor offers specifically to Nurgle units. It also makes me tempted to put Uncle Furuncle into his army rather than Festus's, but we'll see. Anyway, as we can see, our Soul Grinders are working together nicely, completely overrunning those poor Empire troops. And Bellicor appears to have destroyed the enemy mortar, and the dragons are clearing out of the last remnants of the enemy range on the back line. We also did summon our unit of Chaos Spawn that's blocking a fairly big old blob of enemies. And Bellicor moving back into the fray, and I'm sure he'll be having another penumbral pendulum or two ready for the enemy blobs. No, it does look like the handgunners are still taking shots at some of our Soul Grinders, and it looks like one of them at least has gotten pretty darn damaged. About 3/4 of its HP down. Alrighty, and we land and we pendulum. There we go. I like how it bounced off between those buildings, cutting enemies down in droves right before Bellicor, and it looks like that was enough for him to force the entire army to shatter. A nice little battle, no problem at all. And the fact that we have a decent amount of flyers meant that the towers, which normally in this battle are fairly threatening due to the difficulty of getting to the capture point that controls them, weren't a threat at all. And we could have probably brought them down even faster if we had had Be'lakor help out, but, you know, he was having fun fighting Boris. Alright, very nice. Be'lakor absolutely wrecking Boris, and those penumbral pendulums wrecking his troops. At the same time, he did take damage on several of the Soul Grinder units, and it is once again making me think that the Soul Grinders do probably warrant a war shrine just to keep them healthy, as I fear that a single Exalted Hero of Nurgle may not be enough. We are going to sacrifice captives. We do need XP in this army. And then we'll take our now for ourselves and hope nobody's in range with a big old proper stack, though they would still have a very difficult time bringing Be'lakor down. I don't want to have to go through all the gift stuff again in order to reacquire dead soul grinders. Anyway, I'd like to end the turn before the episode is called so that I can... Alright. This garbage. I may want to invest in just a bunch of garbage troops to be able to auto-resolve it. Yeah, fine. Let's do this real quick. Probably not gonna fight it, it's gonna be costly, but it's easier than having to police these guys. So let's do this. And is that enough? I don't know what's in here. You know, let's make these guys into Nurglish troops just for the poison and general tankiness. Like so. You know what? 2 into these. And 2 into these for the armor piercing, and then you into Nurglish troops as well. I can't do anything with you, that should be enough as long as there's no big old monsters in there. And a little Claire War. Yes. Alright. Obviously, he wouldn't have been able to attack the monolith of York Bloody Hand, but there could have been something else nearby that was equally annoying, and that's why we summoned this guy here in the first place. I may even have overdone it on the units, but we can get some of that money back by sacrifice captives, and then immediately delete this guy so that we don't have to, think about this. Oh, wow. Wait. What level were these guys when they were summoned? What the heck? They're already all immediately ready to become Chaos War. You know what? Save these for Festus. Might even keep the spawn on Nurgle. Alright, delete. Does Festus need knights? Probably not. Probably gonna be a little bit more demon heavy, but yeah, if these guys are ready to become Chaos Warriors of Nurgle, we'll keep them. Go figure. I want to go back over the video and see how much XP they started. I think they were at rank 3, so what, they reached rank 6? Something buffed them crazily? It's not this, because it only applies to Tzeentch. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Anyway, Master of Seals, keep on doing your tech thievery. Not that I think it matters anymore. In fact, your 15 turns or whatever it is that you still have will likely get us all the way to the completion of all techs, I imagine. But anyway, keep annoying Vlad. He's really pissy about all this, I bet. I mean, he's spent all that effort to finally take the Empire over for himself, and now what he hadn't realized is all the problems he was going to inherit by doing so, because man has he inherited a lot of problems with us constantly annoying him. Anyway, Hexus Blood Reaper, very corny name for a Nurglish guy. You're headed southward, you're headed to Valkia, and you're headed to... I think Demahar, unless I'm mistaken. Well, either way, you are away. Then, there are buildings to build. Specifically, there are a couple of places where we want to summon new heroes. We need an Exalted Hero in a Nerath's army, which means we're going to build the Exalted Hero construction building here. And there was another one. But damn me if I remember where it was. I think it might have been out here. Maybe. I already have one here. I doubt it's anywhere else. You already have one. You don't need anything. You have all your heroes. Well, if, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. Let's build the buildings and let's end the turn so I can do the rest of the admin at the start of next episode, though depending on the engagement and whatnot, the next episode, I do warn you guys, may be on the other channel. We'll see. Profane Sanctum here, and yes to the Shifting Emanations. We don't need the Champions Arena. What we do need is we could go for another Fighter's Lodge and delete it later, or... Actually, there's nothing else really that we need. These things will give us more money, but for now, I guess we'll just do that. Alright, Cursed City, Prague. Yes, upgrade to the next tier, please. Gotta love that growth. And get you that Cultist's Camp. Wasteland will repair you, and... Bellacore. Do you need more than one Exalted Hero? I wouldn't imagine so. You might use another Sorcerer, but you know, I'm gonna hold off on that for now. Just build the standard Twisted Relic here that we do elsewhere, and then don't collect the income here, and then go for Twisted Relic here as well, at least temporarily. And Blood River Valley, we can go for Twisted Relic before we trade the place, and we're good to go. 2 things to do. Check that quick deal. Rapturous Excess still relatively close to being vassalized. The Deceivers. Are you actually able to vassalize them? Huh. Because it's not an option. Does anybody know if they're, like, actually physically vassalizable? It's not even an option. I guess we have no choice but to make a military alliance with them. I mean, we could destroy them, but... it doesn't feel quite right. I guess we could always... If there is a way... maybe we can cancel the military alliance. For now, let's do this. They'll give us vision in some place, I'm sure, as well. Plus, our one and only military alliance. Maybe we'll cancel it at the end of the campaign, just because. Skeggy, we should get the trade agreement, Wintertooth trade agreement, but Rapturous Excess, we're saving the trade agreement with them first, because we want the bonus that it offers for when we peace out and vassalize them. I believe that's it, that's all, so skip Path to Glory, commandment available, go for... but no, go for... They've come to the wrong place here. Damage building, repair for now. Can't get any use out of these gemstones. A sad, sad day. Outpost upgrades. I'll probably check these between the episodes, but we can upgrade this one right now. That was the only one. Fantastic. End the turn. Trait gains, supervisor for Chant. Oh, Yuenbo wants peace. Nah, that's not gonna happen. He's just going to... Tyrion did come around this way. Alright, Valkia, you know where you're headed. Don't let anybody else kill him this time around. I'll resolve that. He'll retake it. Good. That'll sort of stick him in place. And... by the looks of it, Malefex Rune Smasher has a big old fight on his hands. That said... I don't think we have time to fight this right now. Unfortunate as that may be. Wow, that is a lot of Fire Leech Bolas. That's going to be very concerning. That should make this a fairly difficult fight. Good job, AI. Gotta love Fire Leech Bolas. I would do the same thing myself. Anyway, I think with that, I am going to have to call this episode here. It's been a very long one, so hopefully worth the wait with all those battles. AEKOLD HELBRASS and Bellacore and doing stuff. And next time, we'll start the battle, or start the episode off with this big old battle against Gorok himself, returned already, and another stack, and just a ludicrous amount of Fire Leech Bolas. 10 of them. Yeah. The other option would be to try to back off and then hit them again. Most likely they wouldn't be able to hit us with 2 armies if we do that. I guess the question will be, will they be able to attack us again? You know what? If they don't attack us again... yeah, okay, they won't attack us again. I just want to make sure that the turn ends, because then I can at least do the admin between the episodes and spend a little less time on that. You know, move the heroes, build the buildings, do the Diplo, all that sort of jazz. Time better spent on screen, and... you gotta be kidding me. Underway Interception. Is this worth fighting? We've destroyed much more... Nah, I don't think it's worth fighting. Ooh, those poor doggos. But yeah, we destroyed much more difficult dwarven armies than this, with a second stack of Tomb Kings. So we know that Chant would absolutely destroy them, or at the very least, they probably wouldn't even be able to reach our battle lines. with all that fire having to be waded through, or artillery fire, or whatever we're calling it. Anyway, there we go. With that, the turn ends. Settlement lost Avethir, that's fine. Confederation between Avalorn and Tiranoc. Ambush sadly got foiled, but at least it didn't waste our time. Alright. There we go. With that, I am calling it here. Next time, we head Valkia to Tyrion and hopefully get her the contest she was promised. Oh, she is so close to being able to reach this. I wonder if she stands outside Avethir, will Tyrion actually fight her? Will he run? It might be safer trying to ambush him outside of White Peak. Mostly just because he'd probably be too afraid to fight us. But anyway, Valkia's going to hunt him down. We're going to continue the invasion of the Donut, though it's already looking fairly ugly for them. We will begin the invasion of Bretonnia by facing off against Heinrich Kemmler with Jaeger's fire army, and that should be pretty fun as well. And then we'll have one last turn to prepare for the Orky army's arrival, so lots and lots more battles to come. Stay tuned for them all. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.